So the last thing that we talked about was the actual leak that happened with the intro and outro cutscenes, the dialogue for DLC 1. What we're going to be discussing here today is Call of Duty World War II Zombies, but we're going to talk about the Resistance, the DLC pack, map pack number 1. Drop a like on today's video if you go on to learn something, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section if you're new. It's about to get really juicy, and it's $15. So, hit me up over on Twitter, @GrizzViolent, that's my handle. So, it says the expected playable date is January 29th, 2018. So it seems that we might get our hands on this a day earlier if you're over on PS4. Now, Xbox, of course, you're going to get this a month later. There is a 30-day DLC exclusivity deal with Sony. So we're going to go ahead and purchase this, and it does cost $14.99 US, and you can do this yourself. So what's included in DLC 1, you might ask? There's 3 multiplayer maps. There's a new map especially for the war mode itself. And if you guys didn't know, with Call of Duty World War II, all of the war mode, game modes, and maps themselves are made by Raven Software. And they're also in charge of Call of Duty Online, and they also remastered Modern Warfare. So they're really busy in the background of all of this, but they're active in this actual Season Pass. And I'm not a part of this Season Pass by any means. DLC 1's definitely going to do this for me if it doesn't perform. But the expected auto-download date is January 27th, 2018. So on the 27th, you should be able to download this anywhere in the world. But we got 3 multiplayer maps, we got 1 war mode map coming, and then we have the Darkest Shore, the new Nazi Zombies chapter that's happening, and it's a continuation from the Final Reich. This is what I'm going to be diving into on my channel, and that's why I think you should subscribe if you're interested in all the lore and Easter egg tutorials along the way. I'm going to be doing mostly news, updates, patch notes, and glitches moving forward. I might be doing some Easter egg guide tutorials, the big ones especially like Pack-a-Punch. Those are the ones I'm really interested in making sure I get done. Of course, there's many more. I'll just do them in different variations of videos, the Easter egg ending and whatnot. I'm really excited for what can happen. What I'm really pushing for in World War II Zombies especially is daily and weekly bounties. This is somewhat of a lost art form, I feel, that Infinite Warfare did introduce. Black Ops 3 had daily challenges, so it was a step in the right direction. Infinite Warfare Zombies, though, had weekly bounties. And if we could marry those two perfectly and have somewhat of a thing in our notebook that we can continue to look at, these types of bounties, I think that would be beneficial to just keep players here for the week. I'm not saying it's going to solve the problem that's actually here with the replayability, but it will definitely give people a reason to come back, especially if they felt rewarded. We definitely can't earn zombie supply drops after Prestige 10. Once you pass rank 45, you're not earning them anymore. That still hasn't been fixed. The other thing is that you only earn a certain amount. There's no way you can earn armory credits. That's just not available in the game unless you get duplicates by opening supply drops. But we know in Zombies that our supply drops are limited. It's nothing like multiplayer where they have actual orders they can complete daily and get supply drops. We don't have that. But where my head's at currently is that competition does breed success. I do accept that all of these Zombies modes are different and they come from different developers. I do accept that. I do accept that they all come with a certain amount of quality. There's things that we learn along the way though, and sometimes developers tend to either bring those features to their game. Well, this is between 3 companies, okay? We have Treyarch, we have Infinity Ward, and we have Sledgehammer. And now we have a new map coming up called the Darkest Shore, and we've been here for 2 season passes of Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. But before that, a lot of people maybe don't know this, I was here for Exo Zombies as well. I was here for that entire season pass. So I got 3 season passes under my belt, and so I have a really good perspective of what might happen. Now, a lot of you guys are very hopeful for this map. I'm telling you the meta of what has happened so far since launch, and we've been here for 2 months. By the end of January, it will be approaching 3 months, and we might not have any improvements still happening within the Final Reich. And that's because I do believe that Sledgehammer thinks this map is perfect the way it is, it's intended the way it's supposed to be, and this is the way the Final Reich's supposed to play out. There's no more features that are supposed to be added. More features might come along as more DLCs introduced. I don't think they're going to be on the same level as Infinity Ward was with DLC add-ons. and that comes with weapons and camos. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I could be wrong, but I'm only here for DLC 1. As far as I know right now, I'm only here for DLC 1. And I really think that this needs to pop and needs to happen for this, but I'm afraid of another Zetsubu, guys. I'm afraid of another Zetsubu no Shima. You remember how dry that was in between DLC 2 and DLC 3 and Black Ops 3? That was a very, very hard time to get through. But we might be approaching that time again. So I'm not sure where I want to go after DLC 1. We'll figure it out when that time comes. If the map is really good and there's a lot of longevity, I might go into DLC 2. That's TBD right now, to be determined based on the performance of DLC 1. So I really want to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you think DLC 1 is going to perform, and what are your expectations moving into this? When I sit at home and I think really hard about it, I tend to think that these maps that we keep playing are like one-off maps or one-off experiences that you come into. So you don't play zombies all the time. You come in here once a day, maybe twice a day, play a match, and you're done. But there are people here seriously grinding this every day, and I'm worried about the endgame grind. And that's maybe a term not a lot of you guys are really used to. The endgame grind is what happens after you've achieved everything or achieved the current meta state. How do you supersede that? By grinding. Sometimes there are companies who care about this. A good instance is Infinite Warfare. A lot of people were lost after the 600 supply drops came in during Christmas. We lost about 50% of the player base. But here's the thing. As more things were introduced later in the Season Pass, which I do believe Infinity Ward does regret doing, trust me, a certain part of them does, because they could have had more players stay if they would have done it properly. But here's the thing. You make mistakes and you learn from them, and right now we know that Infinity Ward did pay the price for that, but they did come out clutch with the super Easter egg, and a lot of people do praise them now for that because they put the effort in, man. And here's the thing with Sledgehammer. Right now, I'm not seeing the same effort that I did see with Infinity Ward right away. And Spaceland was Lee Ross's baby, and right now that same love isn't being appreciated as much when it comes to my man Cameron Dayton. I see a lot of his tweets over there on Twitter, and sometimes they don't even apply to zombies. And so I wonder sometimes how serious this mode's being taken, and that also affects me because I care about this mode and I want it to succeed. And I'm not sure if daily and weekly bounties are ever going to be pushed to the forefront, but it's something that I crave and want to happen here because it was an absolute home run, and people that were part of that season pass knew that it was. So that's why when we move to another Call of Duty game and we actually step back and we don't progress where we had features that we liked, where the community was listened to and it was pushed forward, that is a feeling that is not like any other feeling. But that's what we're experiencing here. But we do got to accept that competition does breed success. So where we're at today might be changed coming up throughout the season pass. But the question is it too late? Are too many people gone to care? And is this season pass going to hold up like Infinity Ward season pass? That's what I'm worried about, and that's the internal struggle I deal with making zombies content on WW2 Zombies. Of course, at the end of the day, extending the endgame grind does not subject only to weekly bounties, okay? Daily and weekly bounties. What this does is open up a new avenue, one that I don't think these companies are taking fully into consideration. But I did see a little bit of hope in Infinity Ward seeing that creativeness, and that is through DLC add-on weapons and DLC add-on camos. The way I think this needs to go about is through quests. You need to do things in the map, and this happens at random times, and it awards you special loot that if you were there, it's time-based loot, you would get those rewards. And those are the type of quests I would love to be added in through the DLC season, rewarding even season pass players. But the fact is that during this season pass, we have no rewards being pushed to us, and there's no incentive to actually buy it. So that's why I bought this separately. You guys saw it was $15, and that's why I'm presenting it this way to you guys. Because I'm a very honest channel, and I just present things the way they are, based on the patch notes and the meta of the game. So please subscribe. You guys are going to learn a lot, and my job here is to make things as accurate as possible while speaking my mind. So as you saw earlier, the expected download date is January 27th. That is the date expected for everybody to pre-download And then on the 29th is the expected playable date. We know it releases on the 30th, so on midnight, a lot of people might be seeing this release at like 10 or 11 p.m. their time. Just depends where you're at. But that is the information we know so far on DLC 1. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I did make this worth your time. Those are my personal opinions moving into DLC 1, and I'm hoping it's going to perform, guys. See you out there in the field. Violent out.